Chinese influence permeates Indonesia's culture. It's everywhere, from our food, to our art, to even our language. But despite the rich history of Chinese Indonesians, we very rarely talk about them. So, to celebrate Chinese New Year and also to brush up on our history, why don't you come join Walk Indies walking tour of Jakarta's historic Chinatown? Come along for the ride.
The historical journey of the Chinese influence in Jakarta has made me curious. So, I joined a walking tour which started at Petak Enam Complex inside Glodok's bustling Chinatown district in West Jakarta. This newly revitalized building used to be one of the oldest shopping centers in the city. Currently, it is a popular shopping and culinary destination in Chinatown with variety of shops and eateries to try out. For the first part of the walking tour, the participants attended a tea tasting session at the Pieces of Peace the Pancoran Tea House, where they served some traditional ceremonial Chinese tea. Drinking a cup of tea before we start city adventure felt calming. The walking tour then continued into the busy streets of Chinatown. The first stop of this history tour is the Jakarta State Senior High School 19 or SMAN 19. On the surface, it seems like any regular school, but uniquely, it is actually the original site of the very first modern Chinese school in Jakarta that was previously named as Pahoa. Established in 1901, the school teaches the student with modern curriculum from Singapore that focuses on character building. Unfortunately, during the events of September 30, 1965, the government took over the school and it became a state school. Therefore, the original architecture is still intact. The historical tour continued through the West Perniagaan area, which held a dark past. Known as the Jilakeng Alleyway, during the colonial times in 1800, the street was known to be a red district for the ethnic Chinese population. Opium use and prostitution were common occurrence in the area. At that time, opium was legal and was even pushed toward the older Chinese population as a way to phase them out in what the colonial government deemed as a non-productive demographic. During the walking tour, participants also visited three notable places of worships for the Chinese community. The first one is the Toa Sebio Temple. It is believed to be one of the oldest temples in the country, which was established sometime before 1740. Unfortunately, the temple was tragically burnt down during the Geger Pecinan tragedy of 1740, but was subsequently rebuilt around 1751. The temple now proudly stands as a monument and became the preservation of the Chinese culture. Other unique places of worship in the area where guests will visit included the Saint Maria de Fatima Catholic Church, as well as the Jin De Yuan Temple, which uniquely serves three different faiths, namely Buddhism, Confucianism, and Taoism. Finally, the tour concludes in one of the most unique landmarks, namely the Chandra Naya Heritage Building in Gajah Mada Street. In 1934, Mayor Kuo Kim An, who was an incredibly wealthy bank owner and mayor of the local Chinese population, used to live here. The Chandra Naya building is one of only two colonial-era Chinese mayor residences that still stands in Jakarta. Today, the Chandra Naya is surrounded by tall buildings and apartments, creating a unique mixture of colonial and modern architecture. Overall, the participants of the tour was incredibly satisfied with their experience, and many noting how knowledgeable the tour guide was.
kita senang banget, jadi kita bisa tahu mengenai peradaban rakyat Tionghoa di era VOC seperti itu. Yang tadinya mungkin kita nggak tahu sejarahnya Glodok seperti apa, terus kemudian ada cerita-cerita di balik itu yang mungkin zaman sekarang kita nggak tahu.
Yang paling mengesankan sebenarnya karena tour guide itu sangat insightful ya. Jadi kita benar-benar dapetin handful information yang mungkin sebenarnya di Google juga bisa, tapi kayaknya lebih seru kalau memang sambil kita juga ngelihat langsung, terus dapat guide-nya juga. Jadi kita bakal lebih paham dan akan lebih inget. Dan mungkin next time kalau kita berkunjung lagi, kita juga bisa ngebagiin insight-nya ke teman-teman yang pergi bareng sama kita.
Luar biasa banget untuk bukan cuma untuk ngisi waktu ya untuk walking tour ini, tapi juga kita belajar juga sejarah. Cuma khususnya untuk hari ini yaitu untuk Lunar New Year ya. Jadi banyak sekali heritage kita ini kaya banget untuk terkait dengan budaya Tionghoa gitu. Dan nggak nyangka sedekat ini ada di Jakarta juga sekomplit ini, dan ini luar biasa.
Chinese culture is interwoven into the history of Indonesia with their influence ever present in this modern era. It is important to recognize and be aware of their history and the significance of one of Indonesia's most understated but otherwise proud Chinese population. Arya Siddhartha and Anita Putri for See Today.